Hello and welcome. You're joining us live here on Euronews from a press conference in Berlin, where German Chancellor Angela Merkel has been hosting Armenian President Serge Sargsyan. They've held discussions today in the German capital on bilateral and is the announcement of a ceasefire in the breakaway region of Nagorno-Karabakh. This is likely to be the first public statement from Sargsyan since the truce was announced yesterday. Azerbaijan and pro-Armenian fighters in the area acknowledged the ceasefire, but Armenia has yet to comment. Let's listen in.
Ja, meine Damen und Herren, ich begrüße heute den
Beginning with German Chancellor Angela Merkel.
Ganz herzlich bei uns in Berlin und in Deutschland. Wir haben dieses Treffen schon vor längerer Zeit vereinbart, um natürlich auch über die weitere Entwicklung unserer bilateralen Beziehungen, aber eben auch der allgemeinen Situation zu sprechen. Wir begegnen uns des Häufigeren, aber hier heute in Deutschland sind Sie ganz besonders willkommen. Wir haben angesichts der aktuellen Lage natürlich über die jüngsten besorgniserregenden Entwicklungen in der Region.
The German Chancellor is saying that it's rare that my Armenian colleague comes to Germany. However, we do have the opportunity to meet every now and again. Today, we've been discussing the situation in the region of Nagorno-Karabakh. The President has explained what his position is. I will say that the Minsk group has an important role to play in the resolution of this conflict. We're trying within the Minsk group, as well as with the OSCE, to accelerate the process of maintaining the ceasefire for both sides, and we'd like both sides to negotiate. There's been little progress so far. Of course, it's in everyone's interest for conflicts to be resolved, particularly for a country such as Armenia, given its geographical position. If the situation calms down, things could improve for the country of Armenia. Of course, we understand that it's difficult, says Merkel. We've also talked about the economic situation and within an international context. The Armenian president said the nuclear treaties were an important step. And I told him the relationship between Armenia and the European Union should improve. And it's a good idea to have a strong relationship between the two.
Deutschland auch unterstützend tätig gewesen, den politischen Reformprozess in Armenien, der auch mit Unterstützung der Venedig-Kommission stattgefunden hat. Und ich glaube, das ist eine gute Voraussetzung dafür.
We're of course very interested in the ongoing political reforms in Armenia.
Absolut richtiger Schritt in eine wichtige Richtung. Und wir haben natürlich auch.
It's very important for policies to be more transparent.
Ist das Verhältnis zur Türkei und kann man hier.
It's a step in the right direction. We've also talked about relations with Turkey.
Wieder aktivieren in der augenblicklichen Situation auch der bewaffneten Auseinandersetzung.
We've discussed the possibility of activating contacts which were made several years ago.
Dafür nicht günstig, das habe ich auch anerkannt.
Particularly in the current context of the conflict in the breakaway region of Nagorno-Karabakh. Merkel's referring to there. Merkel continues, we want to develop positively and be a good, strong partner for Armenia and to help them as much as possible. The Armenian President Serge Sargsyan thanks Angela Merkel and says it's a great honor for me to be here today in Germany. It's a very friendly country for Armenia. Our relationship has always been friendly, and it's a viable partner for us. Thank you, Chancellor Merkel, for greeting us and inviting us here today. The cooperation between both our countries and between Armenia and the European Union is very rich, and these days the issue of Nagorno-Karabakh is very important. Following the offensive of the Azeri army against Nagorno-Karabakh, says the Armenian president. Of course, we've discussed this at great length. I explained to the Chancellor what's been happening, and we in Armenia very much appreciate the help and the partnership we have with Germany. Germany is taking part, of course, in the work of the Minsk group. At the beginning of the year, Germany had already called for the creation of a mechanism within the Minsk group in order to control the ceasefire which has been ongoing until recently. Armenia was in favour of the proposal to withdraw weapons from the border of the Nagorno-Karabakh region, but our opponents had another agenda. In the end, they succeeded in their endeavour, and all the efforts made in the last 30 years were ruined. And the vast offensive started at the end of last week. It's the biggest offensive in recent years against civilians in the region. And Azerbaijan once again succeeded in reaching a climax in this war, says the President. It's very dangerous I want to thank Chancellor Merkel for Germany's contribution. It's very important to Armenia as a nation. and it's a nation which shares European values. Germany is the second trade partner of Armenia, and within the next few days we'll have a new economic representation of Germany in Armenia. I told the Chancellor we're expecting the German businessmen and business people in our country. We'll welcome them and we thank you for your cooperation. It's a good example of a creation of a new society in Armenia. So we thank Germany for all its efforts towards our people. As far as we're concerned, we'll do all we can to create an even stronger relation, an even stronger link with Germany. And we hope that our next meeting will in fact take place in Yerevan, the Armenian capital. Just taking some questions from the floor.
Ինչպես նաև Ադրբեջանում սոցիալական վիճակի վատթարացման դեպքում Իլհամ Ալիևը կսկսի պատերազմը սեփական ժողովրդի ուշադրությունը շեղելու համար։ Նավթի գները ընկան, ավելին օրեր առաջ էլ բացահայտվեց Ալիևների Գերդաստանի, Պանամայում աստղաբաշխական օֆշորային գումարներ պահելու ներողություն սկանդալը, որից էլ կարիք կար շեղել Ադրբեջանի բնակչության ուշադրությունը։ Կիսում եք արդյոք վերլուծական կենտրոն։
I'm sorry, we had a problem with the translation there of the question. We believe it was about the price of oil in the region. Well, we're going to leave the press conference there between German Chancellor Angela Merkel and the Armenian President Serge Sargsyan. They've been holding bilateral and regional discussions today on issues within the region. The Armenian president has made his first statement following the announcement of a ceasefire in the breakaway region of Nagorno-Karabakh. He said Armenia was in favour of withdrawing weapons from the border, but its opponents had another agenda. He also called on the international community to recognise the region as an independent sovereign state. We'll keep you updated on this and everything else. Stay with us here on Euronews.